Okay, we are recording right now. So I talked about the Apollo bot. Once you get the bot, all you need to do, because the bot is totally free. Let me start by that. I've introduced the Apollo bot as a robot that trades sports and different components of the futures trade. Okay, so first things first is after downloading, you pick. Of course, you have your favorite exchange. Now you connect to your exchange. Okay, you connect to your exchange by API binding. Okay, if you don't know how to bind, just check out one of our YouTube videos on YouTube. Check with your upline. So once you bind, you're good to go. Then you buy gas. Now I was talking about the gas. Please, let's not be misled into buying the wrong gas. Okay, let's not be misled. First of all, the gas is USDT, okay, with the Polygon network. Right now, the minimum gas is $30. That's the minimum. Now, I've seen somebody put in $160 or $100, and that's just the last money he had to trade. So such a person was misled. You have $100 capital, you can go with $30 gas, all right? So Apollo is so generous that we have a little gas to top up. There are robots where you have to fill in as much as $100 just for a start. But in Apollo here, you can start with $30. As it trades, you refill your gas. So if your trading capital is $100, please go with the $30 gas. There are persons who put the entire funds into gas and they have nothing to trade. So we have leaders who don't even know about the business. They just get their downlines and tell them, hey, buy gas, $100 gas, and trading capital, they don't have anything to trade. Or trading capital is 50 and you have $100 as gas. That's very wrong, okay? So let's be guided. The minimum gas here is 50. You go according to your account. So if you have $100, you can put in a $30 gas. Okay. Then if you have from 200 to say 300, you go with 50. $1,000 from $500 capital to 1,000, you can go with $100, and from $1,000 above 1,000 dollar capital, or $1,500 or $2,000 capital, you can go with $500 gas. So you just go easy with the gas. It's very flexible, so you can go with any of them. Okay. So now, what is we're going to start with sports and futures. Okay, there is a difference between sports and futures. So futures trading is a form of derivatives trading where traders speculate on the future price movements of cryptocurrency. All right. So in futures, you speculate. All right. It's like a contract. You are speculating that a particular coin or a particular asset will move in certain direction. Okay. So you go with that contract. When it does, it means you are in favor. That market has favored you. Of course, we know that futures comes with some big rewards. Also, it comes with high risk. Also, unlike sports trading, sports trading just involves settling trades immediately. All right. In sports trading, you settle the trades immediately. You don't anticipate. You settle it immediately. Why futures trading involves settling trades at a future date, as agreed upon by both parties. That's between you and your exchange. Okay, so that's the difference between sports and future. And sports is not a leveraged market. You come in with your money, whatever you have is what you trade with. All right, that's why it's called sport. While futures, you come in with little capital, you can magnify your capital, and also you're assured you're going to have magnified profit. Also, same way, your losses can also be magnified, and that's why we are always advised to go with the robot, Apollo bot. You know, Apollo bot is so generous and also very conservative. If you want to stay in the market for a very long time, then consider making use of Apollo bot. Okay, so now let's go into the setups. All right, we have the futures setup and we have the spot setup. So we have a chart. All right, I hope my screen is visible. Please, you can give me a 1 in the chat if you can see my screen. Okay, please, if my screen is visible, just want to be sure. And also, if I'm audible, give me a 1 in the chat. All right. So let's move, if you can see my screen. So we have a chart that guides us, okay? We have a chart for Binance, and we also have a chart for Bybit, all right? So we have the Bybit chart and we have the Binance chart. I have the both charts on my screen. So they don't really differ, okay? They don't really differ. So depending on your trading capital, you can set up your futures bot and also your sports bot. So let's go into the futures bot. Now the futures classic is a one-way bot, all right? So it means it's either trading the long position or the short position. All right, so you're either trading the long position or the short position. So now, I'm not going into that. So we go into the futures hedge. Let's set up the futures hedge board because this is one of the latest Apollo trading instruments that has been added, okay, as an extra, okay. So, and it's been very, 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 very wonderful using futures hedge. So if I tap on futures hedge, it opens up like this. I'm working with a PC, so your phones might not have the same orientation. You see this one, this is wider, but actually it's the same thing. So now, all we need to do is go with the recommended settings. I've seen people trade $300 on futures and they are trading 10 coins. All right, so go with the recommended settings, or if you're an expert, you can set your bot according to suit you actually. So now, if you have anyway, this is for me. I don't recommend $100 on futures. All right. I don't recommend $100 on futures. Here, this table says trade 2 coins on $100 capital. All right, I don't recommend $100 on futures unless you just want to go and test. All right, you can put your $100 on futures and test. Right now, I don't recommend $100 trading on futures. I hope I'm clear. You can put $100 on futures just for test, but make sure while you're putting $100 on futures, make sure you have funds in sports. All right, make sure you have some funds in sports. So that being said, so this is a $200 setup, which according to the screen here, you see the initial position is 20, the quantity of coin is 3, and the coins are DOT, OP, and ARB. All right. So if you go to your bot, you can quickly set it up. All right. So this is the futures hedge bot. So I can quickly do a setup. It says 3 coins, right? So let me say just pick those 3 coins. Let's assume these are the 3 coins. You know, you can pick the 3 at once. You can set up all 3 at the same time. Even if you're trading larger capital and you're trading 10 coins, you can set up the 10 coins at the same time. Okay? You can set them all up at the same time. Okay. All right. Now I have picked these 3 coins because I am trading. I want to set up a $200 account. I want to set up a $200 account. Now I confirm. Okay. I just confirmed them. Now, what does it say? Follow the parameters. We go back here and we say $200 is trading 3 coins. What is the max order? 10. What is the initial position? Initial position is 20, right? Let's go with that. So let's go with the flow. So now, this is AI hedge grid, which is economical, but comes with partial, what's it called? Partial profits, okay? But then I prefer you go with the AI hedge DCA. This is my favorite, guys. This is my favorite. You can trade what you like, but I prefer the AI hedge DCA and also the hedge DCA. Okay, they all come differently, but they have similar. Uh, they work similarly. Okay, now I'm setting up, and my initial position, which is the position grid here, is 20. It says 20 on the chart. Now grid count is 7. I leave it at 7. Let's see the grid counts. Okay, let's say I hedge this year. Okay, look at it, $200. The max order is 7, right? So let's go. So we put in 7 here. Now the profit amount, please do not touch this profit amount unless you want to reduce it. It's automated. Let me show you. If I put in 50 here, can you see the profit amount has changed to 16? So it's been well calculated. So let's go back to 20. Okay, let's go back to 20 here. I hope we can see my screen. I'm working with this. Okay, let's go back to 20. All right, so that being said, now make sure you switch this off, this parameter. I do not advise you turn it on. You must be an expert trader to turn it on. What does this do now? Let's explain. What does this parameter do? 2x first order. What does the 2x first order do? What does it do? Now, its job is this. It doubles the first order. Okay? Remember, you have 7 counts here, 7 orders here. So the number 1 order will be multiplied by 2. So what does that mean? What is your first order? Your first order here is 20. Okay? Look at your first order here. Your first order is 20. First order is 20. So when you leave this on, when you start the bot, what will happen to your first order? Your first order will become 40. And mind you, you're playing with your capital. So you have to manage your capital because you have a very long way to go on the trade. You have a long way to go. You have 7 more orders to go on the long and on the short. Okay, so you don't need this button. I want to be clear here because a lot of people ignore this button. So turn it off. So I'm going to turn it off so it will revert. So you turn it off this way, all right? Once you turn it off, now your margin method, you switch your margin method, make it flat. Remember, we are setting up a $200 account. Choose flat, all right? And leave this on full TP. You see that this one is not highlighted. You see the partial TP is not highlighted because the robot knows that it is too early to turn on the partial TP. But when you're using the AI hedge grid, the partial TP is turned on from the very first trade. All right. So now we switch to flat. Make sure you switch to flat. So difference between martingale and flat. I hope we all know that by now. Okay. Let me summarize. The martingale doubles your trade. Okay. For every order, it gives it a double. Okay. While the flat remains on same position from the first to the last order. Okay, if you want to know more about that, you can double click or hold on that and it will show up. Okay, the margin method, hold on margin method, and you will see the margin method, you will see the meaning here. Okay. You saw what I just did, just tap on margin method and the explanation will come up. All right, so I choose flat. Now partial TP is disabled for AI HDCA from level 1 to 4. Okay, from 1 to 4, it is disabled, but then the robot triggers it on once you exceed the 4th layer, once you exceed the 4th level. Okay, remember that you have 7 counts here, 7 layers here. Okay, so number 1 to 4 is going on full TP. It's going on full TP, while 5 to 7 is fully protected by the partial profit. All right, so that's why the AI Hedge DCA is something you can, it's a plug and play. You can turn it on and go to bed. Okay, so that's why I recommend the AI DCA and also the Hedge DCA. Of course, I'm going to come to that. So let's run fast. Okay, so we just set up this account, and remember your let's check the settings again. For $200, your leverage is 10x. All right, the leverage is 10x. So you switch to 10x here. All right, so we are done. The rest of the parameter is empty because if you look at it well, it is on smart allocation. Smart allocation means the AI is taking care of the profit, taking care of the margin, taking care of the rebound averaging, and every other thing here. So you don't need to worry about setting this up. You only set this up when you're using the Hedge DCA. All right, when using the Hedge DCA or the Hedge grid. Okay, so let's move. So now we've just set up a $200 account here. So this is good to go. All you need to do is you just tap on bulk futures and your trade will move. Okay, so that's it. Bulk futures and your trade will move. But right now, let's go to the Hedge DCA. When you tap on the Hedge DCA, you can see the difference here is that every other thing is the same, but it allows you to fix in your figures. This is where it just comes in. You fix in your figures here, and also you can choose if you want the partial TP triggered, and you see you can choose the flat. Okay, of course, I prefer going with flat and full TP. So this is me here. So if I'm to set up any account here, I will go with flat, full TP. All right, and I turn this off. You turn the 2x, the first 2x first order, make sure it is off. Always turn it off, unless you're trading very large accounts. So this is what it is. So now here, the profit taking, you can see it just took, it's already automated. So it's taking 1.68. For on this, I just like to keep it simple. I put it on 1.5. All right. Why do I put 1.5? So that the robot can trade faster. Some people go as low as 1.2. So I just choose 1.5. So the robot trades faster because we know that the market, it's very easy for this market to hit a 1.5% profit. It's very easy for them to hit 1.5, even 2%, it's very easy. But 1.5, 1% is very good. So if you want to be very thorough and very fast on trading, you can even go as far as low as 1.2. Okay, for as low as 1.2. Let's leave it. This is just for this is for an extra setup. So I put it on 1.5, and every other thing is okay. The margin ratio is 6.2. Just leave every other thing like this, and what you launch. Okay, where is my pack? When you're done, you come here, bulk futures. So that's it. So now, also remember that in trading futures, when you look at the sheets, in trading futures, between $100 to $500, you can use the 10x. Now your leverage can be 10x. But beyond 500, as from $600, you can go with 5x. And if you're trading $100,000, Okay, you can step it down to 3x. So that's how it goes. So that's it for the futures. Now we can go for sports. So let me quickly look at the questions. Are there people? All right. So we can always ask questions on the futures and on the sports. So let me quickly run down on the sports trading. Let me run down on sports trading. So to set up your sports, you always come to Sports Classic. Okay. You can see Sports Classic here. So at the same recommended sheets, you come here, you look at your sheets and you pick for sports. You pick the, okay, look at it here, AI Grid Sports, all right? AI Grid Sports. So these settings will also serve for the AI DCA Sports. Okay, so now let's quickly set up for sports. Looking at what account can we, okay, let's check out. All right, AI Grid. Okay, for a $300 account, you want to trade sports. Now, remember that our last Zoom, I talked about passive traders and active traders. So this setting is actually meant for passive traders. Okay, what do I mean by this? You are very busy. You're doing a 9-to-5 job. You go to work. You come back by night. You don't have time to check into your phone, your app. I recommend you become a passive trader or a passive investor, meaning that you can just come here and pick these coins. Okay? You can come here and pick these coins and trade. But remember that in picking this coin to trade, at every particular time, these coins do not wait for anybody. So you could be picking these coins when these coins are in their all-time high, all right? So if you're lucky, you pick them when they are at their very low, okay? Or you pick them at the mid-level. So now, if you pick it at the all-time high, you might stay there for a very long time. Of course, we have what we call the partial, what we call the margin calls, okay? Because of the margins, the robot will help you to pick trades when these coins are dropping low. So this is the advantage you have trading with a robot. So, but then, like I said, these recommended sheets are for passive traders. So if you're an active trader, active being that you have time on your side, you want to make more money trading the cryptocurrency market, you have time to check on your phone, then I will suggest you follow the signals that we drop in the group, okay? Or you have a mentor, somebody who can, can tell you when to pick a coin, because these robots are very good for active trading. When you see a market that is moving, this robot will do wonders for you, okay? So now, looking at these charts, let's look at, okay, for example, you see, this is Bitcoin, right? Look at the Bitcoin charts. We look at a 1 day on Bitcoin. Well, I don't really like these charts. Let me go for my. So this is. I just want to show us why you should be careful. If you're an active trader, do not go for. I won't suggest you go for the. The recommended sheets. Just follow the signals and you'll be good. Very easy to fix, right? So let's go for this. Let's quickly show us something. Okay, you can see what's happening here in BTC. BTC just touched this peak. Let me remove this. Okay, it hits this. Okay, now it's coming down. Of course, BTC is a very long trend. It has a long way to go upwards. But then you want to make profit without having so much floating loss. So if you had picked the recommended settings for BTC and you enter the market at the top, what will happen? You will see your assets will start to drop. So, for example, you came with $500 and the next day, your $500 has become $200. You're going to be asking your upline, what's happening to my money? It's coming down instead of going up. So this is one of the questions I put down because a lot of persons have been asking me, hey, why is my coin? Why am I low on profits? Why am I low? People don't really understand trading. So that's why we have come up with this training. We're going to be training on how to use the bots, how to pick the signals, and also how to analyze the markets. In one of our Zoom meetings, we analyze these markets. Okay, so you can see BTC is coming down. So if you have picked BTC on that chart as a recommended, on the recommended chart, you will see that you will start dropping. But the good thing is that the robot has an aggressive and well-automated parameter that will kick in if that coin starts to drop drastically. So there's something called the trade protection. So if a coin is dropping drastically, we have trade protection. Many robots do not have trade protection. You know why? Because trade protection comes with machine learning. Trade protection comes with machine learning. So if your AI cannot go back in time, it cannot trend with history or fundamentals or the technicals, it will only follow the predefined settings, which is what most robots do. They just have a predefined settings. And that's why people keep shouting, buy the dip, buy the dip. The robot will buy the dip. And when after buying the dip, they'll tell you to add more money so you can keep buying the dip. Yeah, there are robots like that. They don't have trade protection. So the more the market keeps diving down, the robot will keep buying until you exhaust your trading funds. And if you're not so lucky, you buy into a shit coin or a rock pool project, you will buy the dip until your funds will finish because the robot will keep buying if you don't check it. But here there is what we call the trade protection. So the trade protection will not have your money go so deep when a trade or an asset suddenly drops, all of a sudden 10%. We know BTC from history. BTC can never give you a sudden 10% drop. It can't in 1 hour. Okay, in 1 hour, BTC can never drop 10%. So AI has checked all these things. So let's quickly look at other stuffs for. So now I recommend we go with the signals if you are active. But if you're passive, no problem. Put your money, pick the coins and let it trade. Okay, what goes up must come down. So it's a wave. You can see this thing. Look at the chart. As I always say, cryptocurrency is like the wave of the ocean. So you have nothing to fear. So that's the difference between sports and futures. When you're trading sports, you go to sleep. Yeah. Of course, the rewards might not be so high initially, unless you trade in the long term. But in the futures part, it comes with high risk. All right. So, but here, you see our assets are like the ocean waves. All right. See, ocean waves. This is how it goes. So you don't have anything to fear. You can see this. So looking at your stochastic RSI, you even know when to buy. So here now, I can easily come here and say, I buy here, all right, B at the bottom, S at the top. So this is what the robot does. Buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high. So that's just it simply. So with this, you can easily set up your bot using you can use this, what's it called? Use the chat to set up your bot. That is if you are a passive trader. So you just come here, you pick those 3 coins according to the chart. You pick them. Once you pick the coin, what do? You confirm. Okay, you confirm, then you pick your parameters, A, I, this, A, DCA, AI grid, then grid. So now, according to your chart, you have $300 to trade BTC, Ethereum, and ARB. So those are 3 coins, and your initial position is 20. So this should mean you trading on the grid. All right, on the grid bot. So with this, you can trade on DCA. So DCA is what we call semi-automated. All right. So I told you guys, Apollo is fully equipped. It comes with various parameters. You can choose from anyone you like, and they're all working good according to your capital. Now, the AI DCA is fully automated. All right. Just set your trades and go to bed. Why the DCA is semi-automated? Semi in the sense that you can always touch and twerk your trades. You can touch it, you can twist it, you can, set your parameters. So let's look at this. So this is 20 here, maximum order is 7, okay? Of course, I will use 5, depending on your capital. If you're trading with $100, please go with 1 coin, and your maximum order should be 5, all right? 1 coin, a maximum order of 5, if you're trading with $100. Your initial position will be 20, because 20 into 5, of course, that's 100. So you see the logic behind the $100 and the 5, the maximum order of 5. So when you trade 20 as the first order, then you reserve the remaining 80 for the journey, because you have a long way to go. You're doing a buy and a sell. So you put in 20 and leave the rest to appease the market. Now, the margin method, of course, I would say it's flat because your funds are low, all right? Even though martingale is one of the best strategies I use to trade, but this method I recommend for someone who is trading probably $1,000 and you're trading just 3 coins, all right? So go with your flat and go with your partial TP. I explained last time difference between partial TP and full TP. Well, partial TP means that for every layer, the robot takes takes a winning trade. So if you have $20 split in 5 places, okay, maybe the robot has bought in 20 in 5 or 4 places. It means it can sell each one differently. All right, it can sell at every layer. Okay, let me quickly do this, because a lot of people might be asking, we don't understand this. So now we have what we call, these are the grids, okay, or layers. So we have, say you have 5 grids, 1, 2, 3, 4, then we have the number 5. So you start with the $20 at the first one. Okay, that's why I said your maximum order has to be 5. So 20 here, you have, so each time the market drops, remember the market is dropping this way. All right, it drops and goes up. So it picks 20 here, picks maybe another 20 here, and at the bottom, it picks another 20. So now, depending on the percentage, what happens when this market reverses? Okay, when this market reverses, it will take, if it's a 2% profit, it will take a 2% on 20. All right, so it takes out 2% somewhere here on 20. So that trade is over. Then it goes for the second one. As it goes up, maybe somewhere here, it takes trade. This is the partial TP in play. All right, this is the partial TP in play. So it takes profit for individual layer or individual order. But for the full TP, what does it do? When it trades on DCA, so now it picks this trade, it comes down, it picks this trade, it comes down, it picks this trade. So now it will not sell it individually because you're on full TP. So what it's doing is that it has reduced, it has brought your current price and the market price, it has brought your current price, your average price. I mean, the average price, because as you buy deeper, what happens? Your average price begins to change. Your average price begins to change because it is now tending towards the market price. because now your margin is chasing the market. So that's what a full TP does. So now when it gathers this $60 here, that's 20 plus 20 plus 20, it wants to sell it as a whole. So people make a whole lot of money from this. All right. So when there's a reversal, instead of selling $20, it sells $60, probably at 2 or 3%, depending on what you set up. So that's the difference between partial profits, partial TP and full TP. So I just took us back a little. I wasn't supposed to do that, just for the sake of people who were not here the last time. And so the next is your cycle or single. All right, you pick one, cycle or single. What does the if you're a passive, of course, if you're a passive trader, you just go with your cycle. It means that you want to keep trading this particular coins over and over and over again. So if it's BTC, you just want to do this on BTC, a buy and sell, a buy and sell, a buy and sell. So just keep moving and moving. When it buys, it sells, it buys, it sells. So that's the cycle for you. While the single takes you out of that trade once you make your profits. So for you to get back to the trade, you have to set it up again, or you want to change that particular asset. So this is particular with active traders who take different signals for the day, because not all coins, all right? Not all coins move at the same time. I don't mean not coin. I mean not all the coins, not all the assets, all right? All right, so different assets have different times and different movements. If you go to the charts, you will see, if you read your charts, you'll see that. So you can put on single, you can put on cycle. So follow the charts and you're able to set up the your sports. Sports is very wonderful. I love trading sports. So some people might want to ask me, so which is better? What's it called? The active or the passive? They are both good, depending on your lifestyle. Are you a busy person? But I will only tell you this, that the active trading, which is where you take signals, will make you more money. That's where you can turn $100 and flip $100, make over 50% of your capital in a month. Yes, or you can even make 100% of your capital in a month. We have proof of that. Okay, so the next on the agenda. So I talked about asset depreciation. People come in with $100 and they see that, wow, my $100 is now $50. I hope you know the reason why. Because when you bought into that asset, the asset had to just drop. And the thing is that your assets will have to drop before you start making money. When you buy, before you can make money, there must be a dip or a drop by a certain percentage. So that's why when you have $1,000, you come in the next day, your $1,000, if you just started trading, might become $700. Yes, sometimes if you bought a particular asset at the all-time high, if you bought it at the peak when it was about to retrace, so it drops a little and much later it's going to retrace and make the final kill. So sports is very interesting, but it's a market where you also have to be patient. All right. So what else do I? Okay, I've talked about, Apollo is free. Yes, I've talked about that. Okay, there's a major question on Binance, or not Binance, on your exchanges. So people ask wallet balance, what's it called? Margin balance. I don't know this, I know that, because lots here. 90% of people using AIs don't even know what futures trading is all about. So that's what I'm trying to explain here. We don't train people on futures. I want to repeat that. We do not train people on futures. We only show you how to use the AI to trade futures, because futures is a high risk, high reward market. So let me explain quickly. All right. So for those who have that question on I'm trading this and my balance is this, my wallet balance is that. Let me look for this. There's an image I have. Where is it? Let me show us. It is about futures right now. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay. Where's my Binance image? All right. So if you open your Binance, can we see my screen? So I picked up this from one of my accounts. So for the sake of this class, now this is what your futures account. This is a summary of what everybody who is trading futures with this bot. This is a summary of what your assets should look like. Remember, if you're trading using Binance, you will see when you go to the futures, you see this is the futures wallet here. When you tap on it, okay, now you see positions. This is positions. All right. So if it's on position, if you want to see this table I have here, you switch from positions to assets, right? So you switch to assets. I think same thing for, I'll explain this and also explain Bybit, but they are similar. They're almost the same thing. All right. I'll quickly explain this. Now you will see wallet balance, you see margin balance, you see unrealized P&L, and you see available to transfer. Am I clear on this? You see all these things. So now, what do you do when you see these things? How do you interpret your account? How do you interpret your account? It simply means that let me start with the wallet balance. Now, your wallet balance tells you your total, your capital, and your profit. Okay? Your capital and your profit. You came with $1,000 and you see 1,253. It simply means that you have made extra $253. So that's what your wallet balance is telling you. So your wallet balance is a reflection of the bot's performance. Okay? So your wallet balance is a reflection of your bot's performance. So when you look at your wallet balance, you actually see what the robot has traded. Now, the next is unrealized P&L. Okay? Your unrealized P&L, which is the unrealized profit and loss. So it is called unrealized because it is the money that is floating. Okay? That's a percentage of your entire money that is floating in that trade is the unrealized P&L. All right? That's the unrealized P&L. As you can see this, my realized P&L is about 30% of my trade. All right, because this is a $1,000 on this particular account. Now, let's come to margin. Let's come to margin balance. What's your margin balance? Okay, remember that you are trading with $1,000. Now, this margin balance shows 951.9. So it means that you have this particular, because if you add your margin and your unrealized, you should be able to arrive at your wallet balance. So now, the margin balance means that this is the part of your money that is not affected. So out of your $1,000 capital, your $951 is untouched, like it's in the trade, but is not affected. Meaning that if you decide to shut down this trade, if I decide, oh, I want to shut down this Binance trade and move it to Bybit, when I shut it down, what happens? My balance will become $951. I will lose my wallet balance. My wallet balance won't be with me. What I will have is my margin balance because I was not patient enough to wait for this unrealized floating to turn out to be profit. So that's it. Now, on the last one, we have what we call the available for transfer. So while the robot is trading or while you're trading in the futures market, you have something called available to transfer. It means this is the raw cash. Like this is the money left untouched. When I say untouched, it's not touched. You can easily take out this available for transfer. You can easily take out the 267 from your exchange. But remember, the bot also makes use of this money to access the market. So where the market is going against you and the robot needs an extra, an extra money, it comes for this available for transfer. So that's why you see it depreciates so low. It's so low, it's lower than your wallet balance. So some people will be like, wow, my money is done. So no, this is just extra available cash. Okay, it's like a standby cash. All right. So that's your available, that's why they call it available for transfer. While your margin balance is what is actually actively running. So your margin balance is a combination of your available for transfer and everything in your margin balance, excluding the unrealized profits. All right. So while your unrealized profit is the money that is floating, that's the funds that is floating in the market. So it is floating as both profit and loss because it's unrealized. So if you force this trade to stop, all right, so that's why it's called unrealized profit and loss. So if I force this trade to stop, what happens? It becomes a realized loss. But if I allow the trade to go on, it becomes realized profits. I hope we're clear on this. And this is how you can translate this also on your Bybit and every other exchange. Is clearly the same thing. Just go to your assets and you will see these figures running there. I hope I've been able to pause. Okay.